So in the broken clock is right twice a day news, NFL insider Mike Garafolo, as well as hat tip assists from Ian Rappaport, as well as Tom Pelissero, the pride of Minnesota, hashtag one of us, they confirmed that we were right. We were right about the New York Football Giants potentially having trade interest in Anthony Harris. And this is what we said back in March. But I do have it on relatively good authority that the Giants were in. The Giants were in on Anthony Harris. They were initially intrigued in trade talks. And if they didn't get a top-tier safety in the draft, they would have circled back. They would have revisited the Anthony Harris trade, but they got Xavier McKinney 36 overall, so that was a non-starter there. And then the Vikings. Just look at that hot damn production value. Plus, look how young I looked. I'm just a kid. Mike Garafolo tweeted this out this week. Quote, interesting note on Harris. The Giants and Vikings had talks about a potential trade after Harris was tagged. Sources told me that the two cats below, and these two cats below, referring to Rappaport and Pelissero, the Vikings valued Harris and didn't tag him just to give him away, so the deal didn't materialize, end quote. So basically, what it came down to is that teams had to beat a 2021 third-round compensatory pick, because if the Vikings had rescinded the franchise tag, let Anthony Harris sign somewhere in free agency, they would have likely recouped somewhere in the ballpark of a third-round pick in terms of compensatory with him leaving as a free agent, right? So teams had to beat that, and whether it was the Giants, who did have a need at safety after letting Landon Collins go to Washington, as well as the Browns, who, of course, Kevin Stefanski's going to know Anthony Harris for sure. But then they signed Carl Joseph from the Raiders. They signed Sendejo from here, and then they drafted Grant Delpit. So that closed the market there. But the Giants were interested. And as we talked about in the clip from above, if they didn't pick up a safety like Xavier McKinney, or Delpit was still there, or Antoine Winfield, I mean, they could have circled back on that, and I think they could have potentially shipped that second rounder to the Vikings, because I think that's what the value would have been, maybe some sort of combination of a third and some change, but it wasn't going to come to fruition, because if you look, Gettleman doesn't trade. Like, he straight up does. It's so weird. Like, every single year, his team, 7 picks. He doesn't. It's frustrating, but whatever. But I think what happened is teams looked at Anthony Harris the same way that we look at Anthony Harris. He's an absolute stud, the best free safety in the NFL currently, and has been for the past 2 years, but turns 29 years old this season, and McKinney and Delpit, both 21, 22 years of age. So it's like, save a little tread on the tire. Don't have to give up draft compensation. Don't have to pay premium dollars either. So it sort of makes sense. So I think that there was some fleeting interest in Anthony Harris, especially with the Giants. I think it did get to that level where they pursued it to that level. It got deep. But ultimately it didn't happen. So it just ends up being a footnote. But we were right. Yeah. All right, but your thoughts? National media saying we're right. Chest thumper, as we're wont to do. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pull us up on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time, Skol, production value.